So you guys all understand, this is your local machine and we are connecting to EC2 machine, which is remote. For that, we require SSH private key. Why SSH private key is required? Can someone answer me quickly? Passwordless authentication. Why passwordless authentication? Ram?
Just to make sure that the local server is trying to reach the host server by the handshake process.
Yeah, correct. Basically, automated process. It enables us to connect to multiple servers without the need to type the password or intervene in between. You don't need to really wait for authentication to happen or prompt to come up, and then you enter the password and then go for the login. I mean, the main purpose of DevOps is to automate whatever is possible. So how many ever machines that you have in the network, you can have only the public key copied to the remote machine, and that will allow you to log into the remote machine without the need to type the password. That is one of the main goal of DevOps and main goal of using private key, public key authentication. Okay. The public key must be copied prior to the remote machine so that it can allow you to do a login. So what is the location of your public key?
Downloads.
No. Public key. Public key on the remote machine will be your home directory as which user you are logging in. Say
authorized keys.
User one. That user home directory .ssh / authorized keys. Okay. The file name is always fixed. You cannot change this file name. In case if you want to add a new user, then you are supposed to create this authorized_keys file, and you should keep your public key from local machine to the remote machine. This we have seen already yesterday. Any questions, any doubts you have on this? Okay. How do we do SCP? The same case, how do we do SCP? Because this is also something which is important in your DevOps activity. Sometimes it may happen that your local machine has some files that you want to copy to remote machine. How this can happen? See, for this also we need passwordless authentication to copy files. The normal copy command, how it works? How does the copy command works? CP, source, and destination. This is for file. If it is a folder, you have to do a CP-R, that is recursive, your source and destination. Anybody has doubts on this particular simple command? Okay. How does SCP works? I'll tell you quickly. SCP requires your key file and then your source file. Key file is nothing but .pem. Source file is something that you want to copy from local to remote. And then your user at IP address, the remote IP address, colon, your directory, where you want to copy. Can you all give it a try today? One of you can share the screen and try to attempt the SCP command. Is it clear? I mean, you have any questions?
So what does this SCP means?
Secure copy.
Okay.
What is SSH means? Anybody can tell? What is SSH?
Secure shell.
Yeah, it is a secure shell. What is shell? Shell is interface between your commands and kernel. Shell is just an interface that converts your commands to an understandable format to the kernel. So we'll have a small introduction about the architecture of Linux. That time you'll have a better understanding. But now I want you guys to try this SCP command once so that everybody is clear on how to do it. I can do it on my laptop that you can see. That is also fine.
The share option is disabled.
No, it is not disabled. I am able to share from a different device. You should also get it.
You cannot start share, screen share, and the other. Okay. As you are sharing, it is not allowing me.
Okay. I'll stop sharing. One more thing, I just wanted to give you clear instructions. Okay. How are we browsing any websites? Say you want to access Amazon.in, right? What is the tool you use to access Amazon.in from your computer?
Amazon console.
You use Chrome. Amazon.in is a website. Yeah, whatever.
Browser.
If you want to access the AWS console, you use Chrome or some other browser. What exactly this one is called as?
Browser.
Browser. What else you can call it as in terms of some technical word?
Interface.
Okay. Any protocol you can call it as? Any client protocol? So it is a HTTP client.
Okay.
HTTP web client, right? Or maybe GUI client. Without Chrome, is it possible to access, or without any browser, is it possible to access any website if you are not using Android device? If it is just on the laptop, is it possible to access without this client? No, right? Mostly not possible. We can use
command line. We can
sorry.
To command line.
Command line.
We are able to access
There is something
AWS.
curl. There is something like curl.
Okay.
That you can use to just view the website information to some extent. You can also do some kind of HTTP API calls, like REST API calls, get, put, and all. But that is little advanced. So whatever you are saying, right? AWS CLI. What is AWS CLI? Where does it work? AWS CLI. It works on the Git bash, right? Or any terminal. That is a command line interface. That is not a GUI interface. So you need another interface or application through which you can connect to the other application running on the remote. Since AWS provides APIs, using that APIs, you are able to communicate to the AWS services. Otherwise, you will not be able to do these things. Okay.
Sir, what exactly API is? I have a doubt in that.
Interface that allows you to connect to, see, whatever you do, right? It is converted. It has to be converted to a programming or language that the backend server can understand. You may be saying ls, right? You may be saying ls in the command line, but how does it understand? It has to list all the files. So it has to talk to the shell, and shell will convert this to talk to kernel and find out where exactly the programming file is, and executes that and understands that it has to list all the files. Similarly, if you run any AWS commands, CLI commands, it talks to this API. API has all the programming, and this converts. Okay, you're trying to list S3 buckets and list all the S3 buckets. Like that, it does. Basically, that guy is a intermediate guy who can convert your request to the understandable format to the application. That is at a high level.
Okay.
Okay, one more thing I wanted to convey was, okay, for example, you're trying to connect to this EC2 machine, right? What exactly is expected to be running on the EC2 machine if you're doing a SSH connection? You're doing a SSH connection, right? SSH login. Any idea what should be running on the EC2 machine? I'm sorry?
Like Linux operating system.
Nginx. Can you repeat it?
I'm saying Linux OS should
Oh,
be
Linux.
running on the EC2.
Okay. See, it is not just Linux OS. There has to be one more service running on the EC2 machine. Then only you can do a SSH connection. That will be running on port number 22. This is a SSHD service. If you go to EC2 machine, you can check this particular service whether it is running or not by doing a ps command, psaux or ps-eif. Like that you can put and then do a pipe grep and then SSH. Then you will see that SSD is running. If you stop this service, you will not be able to log into the EC2 machine. This is the fundamental again. Then we'll talk about what are services, how to start them, how to make them accessible. So all of those things are part of your AWS as well as Linux. When you learn Linux, it is just kind of you will learn along the way security groups also, so that you understand how to expose your service to the outside world or internet. Because you will be mostly working on the cloud virtual machines, not on the physical machines, or not on the on-premise cloud machines, on-premise VMs. Okay, so I'll switch my screen if you don't have any other questions.
So can you show that SCP command?
SCP command, right? Sure. What I'll do is I'll just disconnect from here. You're able to hear me from this device, right? Now?
Yes.
I'll share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'll try to close this if possible. Say, I'll show you one of the previous command. Okay, I don't have it. Okay. I'll create a new EC2 instance. You all have the Terraform script that has been checked out in your repository. I mean, checked out in your Git bash. Yesterday I showed you, right? The default VPC one. I want you to check out this particular repository on your so that you can reserve a EC2 machine very quickly, and you can also log into the EC2 instance directly from your Git bash instead of going and then finding the IP address from AWS console. Can you all do that quickly? I mean, while the instance is getting created, you can do these commands in sequence. These three commands in sequence. You can just simply copy paste it. It should work fine.
Sir, like as I have Mac, I can do it in terminal or
Yeah, you can do it in
Git bash.
yeah.
Okay.
You will have exactly the same similar structure, whatever I have. So it'll be users, your name, Pragati, and then like this, export and DevOps, like this you'll have. So I'll wait for just 2 to 3 minutes, then I'll get onto this mission. Shall I continue? Do you want me to wait?
Just a minute, sir. We only have to do git clone, right?
Yeah, you just need to do a git clone. You don't need to run a /deploy.sh for now. You can just wait for me to complete. After that, you can do it once your 40-minute session is over, because till that point only we can do the recording. In fact, I mean, we can continue with the call. Then we have to reconnect. Okay. See, like I yesterday showed you, I will do a login using my existing private key, that is my-key.py, which is created by Terraform and EC2-user at the IP address. Okay, the username is incorrect, and I would still get the same error. Okay. Okay, I'm able to log into the EC2 machine. I can also show you quickly the public key. Okay. Say if I do ls, I don't see any files over here in my home directory. That is home EC2 user. Say if I want to copy some files from local machine to the remote machine. For example, I want to copy the key file itself, or maybe I'll copy the main.tf to the remote machine. Say the command is scp-i, the usual way, This is for passwordless authentication. Doing a secure copy and copying using this PEM file and copying main.tf file to the remote machine. That is, as a user, EC2 user, I'm logging into the machine for the same IP address, :/home EC2-user. So you can see that SCP commands follows similar to the SSH with the private key file, and then the source file, whatever file that I want to copy, and the user at IP address : the folder. Okay, if I do it, it will copy this file to the remote machine. You can also see that it is getting copied successfully. If I do a SSH login once again, if I do a ls after the login, I can see the main.tf file is copied. The same way, if you want to copy the file from remote also, you can do it. From the remote machine, from EC2 machine, if you want to copy something, say I'll move this main.tf to EC2-main.tf, so that you understand this file is getting copied. If I want to copy from remote to local, then just source and destination will change. Instead of the source local, I put the source as remote. Home EC2 user EC2-main.tf, and then say dot. Dot means the current working directory. Current directory, wherever I am present, in that it will copy. So if I do this, it will copy file from the remote to the local. So you can see that EC2-main.tf is already copied. So can you all one by one do this so that you have a better understanding of how it is done? Any questions with respect to the command that we are typing? Okay, I'll stop sharing the screen. Who is ready to share the screen now? Ram?
No, sir, I need some time to run the instance.
Manoj, Ajay, Pragati, anyone?
Shall I share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
So I was trying to run the command that you gave us. You asked us to run it in sequence, right?
No,
So
not on the EC2 machine. You are running it on the EC2 machine, right? And as of now, it is not required.
yeah, okay.
See, it must be executed on the local git bash or your local terminal. I want you
Okay.
to have this because see, here also the command, it says git command not found. For that, you need to do a sudo yum install git, and then you can go ahead with the git installation. Git
Okay.
package installation.
Mm.
That's not
Okay.
required
So
now.
okay.
Yeah,
So yum command to install, right? For
command to install
install.
the git package.
Okay.
You can do a control D for now because we are not looking at yum package installation and all right now. We're just trying to just get through with the SSH and SCP so that you now have a problem with respect to connection and copying the files securely.
Okay.
You can press Ctrl D to exit.
Okay.
Use up arrow. So you have used SSH command to log into the machine, right? The same way you can use SCP. Just do a Ctrl A and change SSH to SCP. And after linux.pm, linux.pem, you can keep one file which you want to copy after the pem.
Okay.
You can press tab twice. I mean, you can understand what files are there in your current folder. Say yes. Okay, it is like too much. Okay. You can probably one file 3-1.png something. Any one file you can choose it. Yeah, 3-1.png.
Okay.
Do a queue so that it exits from this prompt. Queue.
Just queue. Okay.
Yeah, just queue. Any one file you want to give it a try?
I'll go 3 high.
Yeah. Okay. In the end, go to the end. Go towards the end of the line. Yeah, colon.
Okay.
You can put /tmp. Otherwise, home easy to use. Anything is fine. Just
Okay.
want to give a different try.
Okay. What is that, sir?
TMP, temp. So it will be a
Okay.
temporary file, temporary folder that is always there on all the Linux machines. Yeah, enter. So it will be copied to the remote machines temp folder. Usually,
Okay.
temp folder has permissions to copy by any user. That's why we prefer to do it there. Okay. Use up arrow twice or maybe, yeah, correct. Yeah. Log into the machine. You can see that the file is getting copied in the /temp. Enter. Do a cd/temp. Yeah. Enter. ls. We'll see that file is copied already. So 3-1.png, that is already there. The
Yeah.
top one.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, you can copy any files from here to local machine. So what you do is do a cd, enter.
CD.
Do a cd, enter. So that will take you to the home directory of your logged in user. Or you can also put cd tilt symbol, that will also take you to the home directory from wherever you are.
Okay.
Now do a touch one file, I mean, or vi one file, vi space file1.txt. And
File txt.
file one is enough, enter.
Oh.
Put some content over here, my SCP test. Go to insert mode by pressing I.
Okay.
All of you should learn veditor commands. I'll share you one video. You can go through that so that you have a better grip on veditor commands. Veditor simple. It may require half an hour to learn. Escape : WQ. Escape. Shift and : WQ. To switch between modes, you have to use escape character.
Okay. Done.
Colon and WQ. Shift and : you press, yeah. W and Q, it will write and quit.
So now I have to do this
Keep
shift
pressing. Yeah, shift : is done. W and Q and enter. No. No more colon. Okay, that is fine. I think it worked fine. Do a Control D to exit. Control D. Instead of typing exit, you can do a Control D. Okay, fine. Use up arrow twice.
Okay.
You are trying to copy from remote to local, right? Now, so you have to switch your source and destination. 3
Okay.
1.png you have to remove. In that place, remote machine information will be there because your source is remote. Okay, go to the end, remove the TMP and put /home/EC2 user. Is -user /file1 space dot. Enter. Now the file is copied to your local machine. ls space file1, you will see the file1. ls space file1. ls. Okay. Yeah, you can see the file, right? So similarly, everybody can just give it a try because you will end up doing some or similar work when you get into DevOps. You might want to copy something from your local to remote, from remote to local. In that case, SCP command will be handy.
And sir, what is this file1? I understood that is something that I created in the instance. I'm going to copy it to my local machine. This space dot, what is the
Yeah,
use of it,
dot
sir?
means we are copying it to the current working directory. Dot means is the current working directory in Linux. Okay, we have less than a minute, so we can disconnect the call and connect back after 1 minute.
Okay.